Have you ever faced a challenge so big you didn't know how you were going to overcome it? Well, here's how to tapping into your resilience. And that can be such a game changer, especially after you're 40 or let's go a little bit farther, say 50 or maybe even 60. I'm going to talk about those things today and share one of my stories because when it comes to resilience, it isn't about bouncing back. I think a lot of times people are like, hey, big comeback story. And while I think that can really be something, I think it's really about a life that's rich and fulfilling and vibrant, no matter what age you are. When we get to our 40s and our 50s, and I'm going to really talk about those benchmark ages. I think a lot of us put stock into, oh my gosh, I'm about to turn 40. Oh my gosh, I'm going to turn 50. Oh my gosh, 50, 60. And those ages seem to be like the big, oh my gosh, I'm accomplishing big things, or oh my gosh, what's next? Now, I will be honest, when I got my ARP card, and I happened to be living in Canada at the time, and they also have a Canadian version of ARP called CARP. I got both of those when I had turned 50. I was super excited because I felt I earned my badge. But a lot of times people look at that as like, hey, you're getting old. You can't do things anymore. And so life is, it throws curveballs at us, and it really tests our strength, our flexibility, our endurance, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. But here's the secret. With these challenges, and here's some of the mindset stuff I want you to get around today as we talk about this podcast. It's really an opportunity to build this really great persistence and resilience that lies within you, and not giving into the paradigms and the stories that society has placed upon us, and that we're supposed to just, this is the way life is going to be, sort of thing. So we'll dig into that stuff. But before we do that, I do want to welcome you to another Power Blast podcast where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out, providing rapid results in mindset. That's the first part. And fitness, so that we can, recharge that mental and physical battery of yours so you can reclaim your power. And before we get into all this great stuff, if you are ready to transform and turn those obstacles, to turn them from tombstones, instead of it being a tombstone, you'd rather use it as a stepping stone. I think I kind of tweaked that from John Maxwell. Let's uncover the resilience strategies and that work best as we get into those different chapters of life. Head over to, I'm going to pop it in the lower third here if you're watching on video, but if you're not, just remember this, talktoperry.com, and that's Perry with the P as in Paul. Talktoperry.com is where we can connect and be able to help you with those next steps. So I got to thinking about this topic, and remembering when I was at a point in my life where I was about to turn 40. It wasn't right before 40. It was like 40 was going to be like a year off. But it gets in your mind. It's like, oh my gosh, here's the blueprint. This is the way everybody said that this is what life was going to be, and this is the way life is. And I was telling him, no, not me, never. I would never have a beer gut. I'd never be out of shape. I'd never be overwhelmed. I'd never be stressed out. And there I was. I was there. Gosh, they were right. Well, obviously, they told me this is the way life was going to be. It happened that way. It must be so. And I could have just left it that way and known, I could have just paid attention to the blueprint that was in front of me from unhealthy habits of friends, family, coworkers. I could see what was going on. But I began to question that. And I'm like, do I really need to buy into that story? Are there other choices that I can make? Now, I know there's probably people out there that, been making great choices all their life, and they're probably still in great shape, but I've drifted so far off course. I've let myself go for so long. Is it really possible to turn things around? I mean, it might seem like I'm going to be trying to paddle upstream with the rapids coming at me in the opposite direction. I'm not going to get anywhere. So I started questioning those stories and building resilience at that. So you might be at a place, Maybe you're not about to turn 40 or 50 or 60, but just pretend that it's the next benchmark of your life. Maybe it's just the next birthday, or maybe it's summer. Whatever it is for you, you get to decide. And that's what I did. I was about to turn 39 that year and said, you know what? Things I've been trying to do over and over and over and over and over and trying to figure out shortcuts and all that stuff isn't working. I'm not doing anything. I'm not committed to anything. I'm not sticking to anything. What if I just started looking at things and simplifying? Look at the things that were triggering me. Look at the excuses I was using. Look at the workout that I needed to be done. And instead of trying to find cracks and flaws in the plan, what if I just got a plan that was super simple, pushing and pulling exercises, some ab work, and just showed up? What if I started just showing up every day despite what was going on around me? Because a lot of people, I have a lot of conversations with people. A lot of people will be like, yeah, well, you just don't know my life. It seems like it's always one thing after another. And they keep repeating that story to themselves over and over and over again. Guess what the subconscious mind, the body does instead? It's going, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something to give, or something that's going to happen. There's going to be another thing. And so if I start doing a health and fitness thing, there's going to be something that gets in the way. I better not even start the health and fitness thing, because I got to be ready for the something that's in the way. And we get into that habit and we keep programming our own brain over and over and over again. It's no wonder that it manifests right before our eyes, because we've literally said to the blueprint out there, hey, bring me more chaos, bring me stuff, bring me one more thing, bring me extra to-do lists, bring me the reasons why I can't succeed at this. Wow, just went on a soapbox there with you. Resilience, and this may be the turning point for you. It's a stage in life where we start looking at those challenges as opportunities instead of, oh my gosh, it's a circumstance that I can't deal with. You've been dealing with circumstances all your life. When are you going to make the shift and start reprogramming your brain to say, this is another thing. I'm still going after my goals no matter what. Yeah, it's trying to take me off, and isn't that interesting? I'm still going to get my workout done, or at least part of it. And so we start as we get going, there's some people that they give up and they give in. This is just the way life is going to be. I choose a different path now. That happened when I started at the age of 39. I thought that was kind of late in life for me. And now it's 20 years later. You can do the math on that stuff. Hair's changed, length of the hair's changed. But the mindset has totally evolved. It's learning from any setbacks. It's taking in those lessons that, okay, life gave me one more thing. I'm still going to show up anyway. And that's when I started looking at those triggers. I started looking at and creating a no matter what plan. Okay, I'm unmotivated today. Okay, I got a headache today. Okay, the dogs got sick. Okay, I've got projects of work. Okay, traffic was bad. Okay, there's always one more thing. Somebody else needed my attention. I'm still showing up for my exercise no matter what. And I made it to where it was like a little 15-minute contract with myself that I would show up. And almost every time I started the 15 minutes, and I would end up finishing the workout anyway. Even though I told myself, after 15 minutes, you're done. That was enough motivation for me to say, I'm done after 15 minutes. And I get into minute 10, 11, I keep going, I feel better, and my mind, the chemicals in my brain would shift. And I find that when we can do that, we start propelling ourselves forward, and we become stronger and wiser than ever before. And I get this resilience stuff isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. It's deeply personal for each person. And I just want to make you aware of the stories that you might be telling yourself. And if you're telling yourself those stories and then ignoring them and sending them off and going, yeah, I'll get to it sometime. Or yeah, it's because of this and this, once life settles down sort of thing. It's becoming aware of those things and saying, I can make a decision and a change just like that. It's a commitment to self-reflection. It's honesty, radical honesty with yourself. And sometimes that can be tough. It might be redefining what success means to you. Sometimes people think they've got to go in 100% or nothing at all. It might be the relationships that you're connecting with and getting support. New passions in life. What does this health and fitness journey mean to you in your life, and what's going to enable you to do? Seeing things with an open heart and a clear mind and really getting clarity on that journey. That's the journey I started doing. I started going, moving forward. Results started to happen. Here's another thing. I also stopped looking and worrying at the results I currently had. And a lot of people, they jump on the scale after they ate a salad. They jump on the scale after they worked out. I'm like, you know what? This time, I'm not going to worry about the results. I'm going to focus on the habits of showing up, putting in the time, overcoming. And I just needed to get rid of the triggers. I just needed to get rid of the excuses. The excuses still came up. It's just how I responded to those. All right, I don't feel like it today, and I'm still going to work out. All right, it was a busy day at work, and I'm still going to work out. All right, I don't have time to meal prep, and I'm still going to eat healthy. All those things. Instead of saying all those conditions were going to take me off my game, and here it is again, I can't stick to my plan, that wasn't the case. And guess what? The habits started becoming a thing. Nowadays, I hit my gym. I'm usually in there about 6:30, 6:45. It's just what I do. It's just who I am. It's not even a thing anymore. There are some people that still struggle with that, going, oh my gosh, I got to get into the gym. I got to do these things. You know what? I do have those little moments where it becomes almost the 2-minute to Wapner thing, where it's like, oh my gosh, I got to get going. I got to get going because this is who I am. This is where I step into. I don't look at it and go, maybe I'll do doubles tomorrow. No, this is who I am. But it took resilience and it took habits, stacking habits, but simplifying the habits. So a lot of times people think they got to have all the things figured out first and know how to do it before they even get going. I said, I'm going to get going and I'm going to figure out along the way, and I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Creating the habits, it shapes the future. So, if you want to brainstorm more of this stuff, like I said before, hop over to talktoperry.com. We can connect, explore your resilience, how to fuel it for your health and fitness journey so that you are healthy, happy, fulfilled, no matter what life throws your way. As a matter of fact, I'll say this in here. I know that sometimes the timing of when people listen to this or watch this, it may be in the past. But as of this recording, February 20th, 21st, 22nd of 2024, I am doing a masterclass on this mindset stuff. You're welcome. It's totally free to attend. Just reach out to me, either email. You can go to talktoperry.com, book a call, and we can chat that way, and then you can get in there. And if it's in the past, that's okay. I do like to have those master classes from time to time because it really, really helps people on the journey. Because resilience, it's a superpower, and it allows us to face life's challenges without giving into the external circumstances. And we come out stronger on the other side. And we aren't giving up, and it's never too late to cultivate that quality, whether we're just about to turn 40, just about to turn 50. Perry's saying it just as he's about to turn 60. I'm embracing this stuff, because you can navigate the complexities of life with grace, and you come out victorious. So remember, it starts with a single step to move forward, but you've got to be not only aware of those things, but be willing to make the decision to say things and be willing to commit and say, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. This has got to stop. Let's turn the page, right? It becomes a more resilient, empowering you. But like I said before, you can use your power to take control and be able to navigate these waters and be able to empower yourself, or you can let the excuses, the justifications, the overwhelm, the you don't know me sort of stories, and there's always something that happens that gets in the way. Let those control you and drain your power. A lot of people do. To flip it, first of all, you got to decide and commit, and that doesn't take long. You can do that in an instant. And if you heard me just say that and you went, yeah, but I'm going to wait, then you haven't decided. It's just a wish and a hope. When you decide, you take action, okay? And it's committing to your goals, and you choose to figure out new ways. You look at possibilities, and you learn, and you grow, and you keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. I know I was clapped by the microphone. I'm sorry about that. But drop those down in the comments. I always appreciate those. I do respond to those. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.